Yeah,
That's our closer.
He is for the most part.
He is for the most part. Tonight wasn't his game.
I know we don't play. Okay.
we ain't have a closer tonight, did we? Because we lost.
True.
That don't mean you don't got to close it just because you lost.
Who
No,
was our closer?
listen. I said beat is the
All
closer.
right, we starting. We start.
Listen, we start when I say we start. Not when you gonna cut us off and try to say we start how we start.
All right, we start.
Okay, we start.
Hold on.
Someone come up, say, here we go.
Come on, man.
Hold on, notification.
We've been sitting here long enough for y'all to have that in the chat.
Sergeant Bass, don't be done. Don't be done. Listen, it's over. He said it's over. It is a frustrating loss.
What's up?
Sergeant Bass.
All right, let's go. First, let's start it off right. You got welcome back to the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got Ephraim, Ethan, Tim, and Wayne, the four horsemen here tonight. It was a big game tonight. The Sixers came up short. It was hey, listen, you're playing against a top tier team. Sixers top tier team. The Bucks got the best of us tonight. It is some things that it's some places where we could have played better to secure this, but I mean, like, come on, before we start jumping off rooftops and everything else, like it was the Bucks, and it was a tough game, and it went down to the wire. I have an issue. I have an issue with the NBA rules, like the fact that you called it a goaltend. He clearly blocked it out of, and I know it's the rules, so it don't matter. They went by the rules, but that's so irksome. So now with the jump ball, the Sixers basically had no chance to win that. Whereas though, if it was initially called out of bounds, they would have had a shot, at least another last second shot, for Harden. I'm not going to Harden ball tonight, though, so I'm not going to rip Harden like that.
No, I agree. Sergeant Bass, if you leave it, Sergeant Bass, yeah, he did. Sergeant Bass says he led our team in scoring, and he shot 52% from the field and 40% from the three. Hey, look, but you ain't say that about Toby. But my thing is, Sergeant Bass, he said he won't be out after the. He said see you on the playoffs. So take his wrench, Tim. Take his wrench. There's too many wrenches floating around in the atmosphere anyway. But my thing is, if I had to blame somebody, I gotta start. I gotta start with Maxey. And I know he's young, and I'm not trying to say that the team should end and start with him, but we anointed him, and he anointed himself into the big three by his play. He was playing incredible when Harden first got here. Even the game Harden missed, Miami Maxey, he went off. So now you have set a standard for yourself, and that standard cannot give me 7 points shooting 27% from the field. That's not the game that you gave us throughout to this point. Even for real, even before Harden got there, he ain't played. The average Maxey wasn't this bad. So that's, to me, I mean, you could pinpoint certain areas here and there, but Maxey got to step up. If we get 15 points from Maxey, this game is in the bag.
Bulls really coming at Harden tonight? Y'all really trying to come at Harden tonight in the comment section?
If would be well,
James Weber, huh? Weber.
First of all, that shot Harden shot. I gotta turn
that was a bad miss.
Yeah, that was the one he shot.
It was actually a good miss because it missed right to B.
Yeah, it was a good miss, but it was a bad miss at the same time. I agree. I know a lot of people saying B should dunked it, but if you watch it again, first of all, B wasn't set. He was a little off balance, and he was kind of trying to get the ball up quick.
Yeah, he didn't know where the clock was at.
Yes. Giannis made a great block.
He did.
Give that man, he's didn't he win Defensive Player of the Year 1 year? For a reason. His defense, phenomenal. Maxey thought he'd get one past him. He punched that too.
Yes,
Give me
did.
that. Looked like they had a play drawn up where B missed a shot against Lopez, and the way the Bucks played. Listen, the Bucks defense, if you watch their defense, man, they rotate very well. They're very aware. Their hands is all over the place. Bucks played very good defense. The thing that I didn't like, our defense didn't play that well. Was too many holes on the court. 4 seconds left before the fourth quarter, and you let Giannis run down the court and dunk. Like, come on, somebody stop the ball. The defense is more or less what bothered me. Offense had plays. Offense looked good. They made plays, but we ain't get no stops. We ain't get stops when we needed stops. That's what really bothered me. Everybody's not going to make shots all the time. Niang was off.
We're going to start taking wrenches from some of these home team haters. We're going to start taking y'all.
Mark. We're gonna start with Mark. We're gonna start with your man Mark Greenwood because he over here hating, talking about we tripping because we blame.
Right,
go ahead, Tim. Tim, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right.
I'll be back.
I guess I was
be
finished.
back.
We know you'll be back. But listen, the reason why we lost the game is two reasons why we lost. Niang, even though he had 2 big 3-pointers at the end of the game, he was 1 for 6. He was killing us. We would have had an 18-point lead easy in the third.
He ended 3 for 9.
That's what I'm saying. But because the first 6 he missed, and then he was 1 of 6 and finished with the last 2.
But then you say about Toby, you want people to finish better in the fourth quarter and all that kind. Okay, but go ahead.
I was gonna let him go, Ephraim, because I'm after him and I'm going.
And then secondly, what hurt is, and I've been defending this ball for the longest, but when you playing an elite team, the world champion, you cannot start the fourth quarter without one of your 2 best players on the team. And he had Embiid and Harden on the bench. You can't do that. That's when we lost the game. We went into the half with a 10-point lead, ended the third quarter with a 10-point lead. You start the fourth quarter with Harden and Embiid on the bench. And then they couldn't do nothing. Then that's when Mitchell had his own 15-0 run. Giannis just killing us.
He did.
So Doc Rivers got to eat this loss. He got to eat this loss. I'm blaming Doc and I'm blaming Niang. Those are the two culprits for this game. Then third is Maxey because Maxey didn't show.
I mean, I'm not mad at your selection, but honestly, Doc, to me, I blame Doc for a different reason because that lineup you said, and again, I'm not hyping him up to be like he's this great Giannis stopper, but I saw when Paul Reed played against Giannis, when we played against him earlier in the year, he at least made it difficult for him. And Giannis actually didn't, he kind of struggled against him. He abused Millsap.
Yeah, he abused anybody who's in front. He abused B too.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but I've seen exhaust everything. What was Millsap on the floor for there? Doc has to start. And this is my thing. Doc has to start making on-the-fly adjustments. Listen, y'all have ripped him, especially Ethan. You've ripped him from the beginning, and I agree. Doc has to, and I get like, all right, he stuck with Niang, and then Niang actually ended up scoring later on in the game. To go to that point that Ephraim was making. Tim, you was on Tobias. Tobias gave us 17 in the first half, and he didn't give it nothing in the second half. So now don't rip Niang. Niang came through down the stretch.
Hey, Herb and Master Crab. Y'all going at each other in the comment section. Cool that out. We ain't about all that. We ain't about all that. We respect
day one, y'all. Come on,
man. We respect each other and how we, talk sports and all that kind of stuff like that. I don't know who started or where somebody felt it got disrespectful, but we gonna call that out. Don't do that. Let's talk sports, and then we're gonna talk about some other. I know Tim and Ethan, but Tim wanted to talk about Chris Rock and Smack. We might address that later on. But let's get back to the real issue at hand. Is that and I know Phil Evans, you said it, and I already said it. He said blame Maxey. This is why I have to blame Maxey, because if you look at everybody else did their thing and then a little bit more. You had Harden gave you 32, shot 52%. B gave you 29, shot 52%. Tobias gave you 22, shot 52%. I would like him to shoot better from 3. 7 threes open. He was like 2 for 8. Okay. But Maxey was 27%, 7 points, 3 for 11. I mean, all I'm asking for is you to give me 15. I'm not even saying Maxey give me 20, 25. I'm saying give me 15 points this game in the bag. So if you base it upon what the players have consistently been doing, that's all I'm asking. Just like I talked about Tobias the other night. I said, Tobias gave you like 15. I said, I'm actually cool with Tobias giving you 15. I just want more from Maxey. To me, he's young, but he has set the bar high for himself. So at this point, I'm expecting you to give me at least 15 to 17 points. If you can't do that, I gotta look at you and say, yo, you part of the problem. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying wrong in this situation.
All right, but I'll say this to defend Mac. Then I'll address Doc's coaching a little bit.
Not all the time, Mark. Not all the time.
I want to talk about Danny Green's play. Maxey, but Toby played well. Toby had 22. If you was happy with, if you take some points from Toby, give him to Maxey, maybe they'll balance out. Maxey's shots he missed a couple threes, but the shots he missed was tough. One was blocked by Giannis. Um, his stuff just came in the flow of the game, and the Bucks have a really good. I told y'all about this earlier. The way the Bucks play D, especially that boy Drew. He was in Maxey pockets.
He was actually, but the crazy part about it, he was a little bit, but he was sticking beat a lot. He ended up on beat in a lot of different possessions.
I want to address that too. Why, when he was on B, is he that strong? Somebody answer me this question.
You told me Drew was going to shut Harden down. You ain't saying nothing about Maxey. You said he was going to shut Harden.
But he didn't have to shut Harden down. He just got Maxey out the game, and that ended this. But listen. Why, when B was getting the ball with Drew Holiday in the post, he didn't take him? Is Drew Holiday really that strong that we don't know?
He's a strong dude.
But it was a few times he didn't even try.
Are you talking about the top of the key? Or are you talking about in the post?
Top of the foul line? He's at the top of the foul line.
Yeah. And this is where I hear what you're saying, but you know good and well, as soon as B starts backing them down, they're going to collapse.
They don't even have to back it. That's a shot. That's B's shot. You can shoot right over him.
Man, but that's what I didn't understand.
You can't blame a lot on B tonight because even though he struggled, he started 1 for 6. He did, or 1 for 7. He hit 7 straight shots in a row to get he got his stuff, his shooting percentage up.
Is that Tim? Or is that K? Did she come down? Is that K? Why is that Tim? I can't believe it. I can't believe this. Tim ain't hating on B.
But I am going to blame.
Real quick, hold on, y'all cut me off, Mike.
Okay.
Can I get my point across?
I do got to blame him though, because he always get that late turnover in the fourth quarter. That's his MO.
You're going to blame him for one turnover.
Can I get my point across?
It's not the amount of turnovers. It's the time.
That close, Tim.
So what about the 3-point shots he hit that kept us in the game?
You was that close, Tim.
If you don't win the game, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying. I'm not blaming him for the loss. He has some clutch shots, but I am saying
so he got to be perfect. In your estimation, he got to be perfect.
No,
same way if the Bucks would have lost, the Bucks fans would have been ripping Giannis for missing that free throw that could have sealed.
That's not what we said. What I'm saying, I was real specific. Embiid seems like he has a pattern when he balls on the fourth quarter, but he has key turnovers in fourth quarters of big games. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
But let me ask y'all this. I see what I'm noticing the last couple of games is the more a surgence of Danny and the less we see of Thibault. I think I don't know what's going on with that. Danny was hitting the shots tonight. Thibault, was he even in foul trouble? He only had 21 minutes. He had no fouls. He took one shot. I think I don't understand. I know against the Bucks you have to score, but you sacrificing a little defense. And I know with Thibault, you sacrificing scoring for defense. See, that's my problem with Thibault, which we keep going back to. He's not consistent enough or reliable enough where you could really have him on the floor when you need to spread the floor. Because let's be real, against the Bucks, because their defense closes so fast and they swing so good, you have to spread the floor. You got to spread the floor.
Is our Dennis Rodman. He get them hustle points. He get the steals. He gets some blocks. He gets some tip balls. He's very active. I mean, I agree with you though. I think we would all like to see Thibault at least turn into a young Danny Green when Danny Green was a younger player on that level where you could just spot up and knock down 3 threes a game, 2 to 3 threes a game. That's all I think we really want. But right now, I mean, he has value. His value is really high because his defense is very, very active. It's hard to be a lockdown defender in today's NBA because they gonna call you with a lot of calls. But he's very active. Even sometimes the plays he don't get steals, he gets tips.
Bro, let's stop. Danny Green had 9 points in 23 minutes. You're not telling me that Thibault's defense wouldn't have been needed more than what Danny Green brought on defense.
Would Thibault have hit 3 threes?
Maybe not, but Thibault might not have made that stupid flagrant foul late in the game that shifted momentum either.
I think the momentum was getting shifted before that, but yeah, them 4 points, them short points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, when I get it under normal circumstances, normal team, but when you have Embiid, Harden, Maxey, what he's supposed to be doing offensively, and Toby, when you have these 4 offensive players, I don't need a Danny Green out there running up and down the court with bad knees and hoping that he makes some open shots here and there. I would rather have Bible in there with the defensive. That's the same thing with Millsap. Why was Millsap in there? Doc again going to these old players that when you're facing these athletic and more athletic teams, stop going to these old dudes that can't stay in front of nobody.
How y'all feel about the play Harden tonight?
I mean, somebody said that.
That bad last shot, but
somebody said in the comment section that he needs to be a little bit more active on defense. I mean, I agree that a little. He actually had a good block on Grayson Allen. And
that was a good block.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere in the 4 years in the fourth quarter, if I'm mistaken. It was actually a pretty good block. But offensively, I mean, he did. None of us expected Harden to be some defensive magician when he got here, or even a good defender. We just wanted him to be all right. That's all we wanted Harden to be was, man, he all right. That's all we wanted, and have his offense be good to great. So he gave us that tonight, 32 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. I mean, shot good from the field and 3, 52% from the field, 40% from 3. That's what we wanted. He did the ball, didn't stick with him. He didn't dribble, shoot too much. I like actually what he did early because he realized he didn't want to stink up the joint like he did the last game. So he kind of went to the hole for his first 3 shots. He started off 3 for 3. It was all layups. And one was a kind of a floater bank shot. Then the other 2 was layups. But he kind of got his own self into a rhythm. He played well. You know, he's savvy with the ball, drawing the fouls. He did what he's supposed to do. B did what he's supposed to do. Tobias did what he's supposed to do. This is why I'm more mad at Maxey. Thibault did what he does. Maybe, all right, could we have got 7 points out of Thibault instead of 2? Yeah. But that 7 points from Maxey, bro, I'm irked by that.
Hold on. We didn't get nothing out of Paul Millsap, but we did. If you notice, you didn't hear the boy Bobby Porter Jr. Mm-hmm. He scored only 3 points the whole game, so we did some good things. My thing with Doc is, as long as Giannis is in the game, I would have kept Embiid in the game. They would have played the identical minutes. We needed somebody to counter him. When you take Embiid out the lineup, it's just we're at the mercy of Giannis. He scored.
Did he asked to come out the game again?
But the shots Giannis shot didn't necessarily have nothing to do. Giannis was shooting pull-ups and fadeaways, and even like pull-up threes. And this is why I'm not saying that DeAndre Jordan should have been there. I'm saying Paul Reed. I saw when we played against them, I saw Paul Reed play tough defense on Giannis. I saw it.
Why didn't he play anyway, Jordan? Is he injured, or was it a coach?
Because this wasn't a matchup for him. He would have got beat all up and down the court.
Listen, I know we want to talk about Maxey, right? But who's our money players on the team?
B and Harden.
And Maxey.
And they gave you 60 points.
Y'all told me Maxey was the closer, so Maxey got to be the money player.
No,
right?
but Ethan's saying he's taking Maxey out the equation, and B and Harden gave you 60 points.
Yeah, but B and Harden, you know what they gave you in the fourth quarter?
What they
combined?
What's that?
You know what they gave you in the fourth quarter combined?
What's that?
No. B had 5. All right. B had 5. No. B did well in the fourth. He had 7.
Okay, so get your stats together and then ask the question after the fact. How about that? How about instead of trying to check stats on the fly, come back with your stats?
Harden had 3 points in the fourth quarter. Harden had 3 points. B had 7. B did his thing. Harden had 3 points in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about them two.
But I'm asking.
No. Wait.
You said my turn. Is it my turn? Because I was told Maxey. And where's the guy that called me the clown? Remember when I said that Harden was better than Maxey and he called me a clown?
I'm gonna tell you who that was. Herb. That was Sergeant Bass.
It wasn't Herb.
That was everybody. That was everybody in the chat. That was Ethan, Tim, me.
Harden had 3 points in the fourth quarter.
Okay, and what did Maxey have? Maxey's our closer. What did he have? And Maxey played absolutely no defense either. He played no defense, and I like Maxey.
He just didn't stop nobody.
Maxey's a young guy, and I want to see him grow into it. But let's stop overhyping him, saying he's better than Harden and he's our number 2. He's our closer. He's not there yet. Let the young bull grow. That he's not there yet. And that being said,
Harden hit 1-3 in the fourth.
Okay.
And he bricked the other one badly.
Did he make any free throws?
No, he had 3 points. He didn't do nothing else in the fourth. Okay. He had 3 points.
They said Harden assisted on both of Niang's 3.
He did. He did.
But I will. But to Ethan's point, I do. It was at one point. Remember that one? It was one play they passed the ball to Harden, had a clear, wide open look at the three. He got to shoot that. In my opinion,
he's not a catch and shoot shooter. And I'm gonna tell you this. You remember early in the game,
he didn't even have to catch and shoot. He could have did like he did the other one earlier when he caught it. Nobody ran to him. He passed it as soon as he caught it. If he just took a second, it's an open shot.
Remember that happened earlier, and he broke badly. He's not a catch and shoot shooter.
I mean, Phil Evans said that he made the comment that he has to be a better catch and shoot shooter. So I mean, this is what I mean. Harden, I have no doubt he's gonna work on his game. Like I said, I think we've all seen video of Harden trying to develop new moves in the offseason. He a baller. He likes to play basketball. He likes to work on his move. I think he gonna be and continue to try to even tweak. Like we talked about Danny Green. Ethan sent the video with Danny Green shooting. And he was working with a younger shooting coach, and he was trying to work on just some small little nuances and learn something new. This stage of his career is really impressive. I give him credit for that. And I think Harden is a baller enough to do the same thing to try to help this team win. But I mean,
Sixers and 6. We played them in the playoffs 6 and 6. I'm telling you now.
I mean, it's going to be a bad. You're not getting swept. Like I don't think they're going to run through it. Like people panicking, fire Doc, and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm not ready. I'm not at that point. I'm still trying to be a little bit more even keel and patient with this thing. It was a good battle down to the end. That game could have went either way. I am a little bit more disappointed that we was at home and didn't take it. And we did have a 16 point lead at one point in this game. And teams make runs, so that's not the end all be all. But I just wish at home we could have got this game. I'd have felt a little bit better. Even if we won on a fluke, like a last second shot fell in at the something, I still would have been more happy than this. I'm not liking this, but I'm not panicking either.
We kind of let individual performance get hot too. Like we got to learn how to stop one player at a time.
Giannis is a beast.
Lopez scored like 11 straight points.
To start the third quarter off. Yeah, at the halftime.
We got to learn how, like, if you see somebody cooking.
I am bad.
Use that timeout and just like.
So you talking about the coach, right?
You saw my first point was Doc kind of didn't coach well this game. I thought he let us down.
Listen, I'm the biggest.
Came back from being both a Bacchiotomy.
I'm the biggest. I'm the biggest Doc basher, but he doesn't have a lot to pull from. I mean, first of all, the young boys ain't been playing. I don't even know how well. Yes, that's his fault, but I don't even know how well they'll rotate, how they'll rotate on the floor if they ready to get thrown in at this moment against a team like Milwaukee. It might have been worse. So his pool of talent ain't deep. So I can't really blame him. We over here thinking
my argument against
be
some type of savior, like he's going to see some type of
It ain't about savior. But Paul Reed played well against Giannis earlier this year. Paul Reed played well against Giannis earlier this year.
Paul Reed is quicker, and so if you saw that when Giannis got the ball and he ran down the lane and then dunked it on everybody, no one was
3 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, no one, and I think it was the third quarter. Was it the third quarter?
Yeah, it was the end of the third.
No one, or the end of the second, I think it was. No one was. All right. No one was quick enough though to get in his space to make him to earn at the line because everybody just let the C just park for him. We need that quickness. I thought this would have been a good opportunity for Paul Reed to get.
I get it though, Ethan. I get it how you trying to be fair to Doc, but this is my whole point of. When you're showing me these old heads is not doing it, what was Millsap's value in this game? Like I saw him
he scored nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I saw him bring no value to this game. I see when Paul Reed comes, and I don't think Paul Reed's a great. I think he looks lost at times. This and another, but the same point that y'all have always beaten into my head, talking about how all these other teams have young athletic players that they at least play their young players. Doc refuses to play these young guys. Get a Paul. I'd rather see Paul Reed run out there and hack Giannis up, run up underneath him.
Wayne, let me interject about why Doc. I'm gonna just tell you why Doc.
Go ahead.
And a lot of people said that they said Doc said he didn't like how Paul Reed played Giannis the last game. Now go ahead.
The last game, but the game before that, he was putting lockdown on him. So Doc gives this is my thing. Doc gives these young guys one game. I ain't like how he did the last game. And guess what? You know why he had to answer that? Because I'm sure the people in the news, the media saw how Paul Reed played him decent one of them games. Like, why didn't you try him again? Like, let the young bull try.
Okay, Styles Washington, good looking out. Styles Washington said, Doc said why he does not play Paul. He said because he thinks he's a scorer. So you telling me in Paul Reed's mind, he thinks he's a scorer and that's what he wants to do. I could see that. Because in the G League, he was like leading scorer and he was balling out, right?
So Doc mad at that?
So let him score.
No, he wants you want him to listen. He's not mad at that, but that's not your role on his team. See, when you building a team, I can understand Doc with this point. People have to have roles, and you have to accept your role. This is my role.
How about you give him a chance? How about you give him a chance to fill that role? Have Harden throw him a couple. Who else got to do?
Hold up. The boy Embiid comes to the press conference. They said with some NyQuil or some Dayquil with him, so he could let everybody know that he wasn't feeling good for this game.
Hey, listen, this is you. This is your narrative. If he's not feeling good, he's not feeling.
It's kind of corny though. I ain't gonna hold you. That's kind of corny. Don't
he shows up.
He's my man, but don't bring that out there.
He
bro.
got the sniffles, so that's for the media to write. He tried to have that Jordan game.
This is my thing about Doc, and a number of people saying they don't like Doc. Jay Carr, shout out. He said that he think Doc is 100% the problem. The thing I will say is one thing I heard an interview with Maxey that surprised me. It was after the Miami game. Remember, everybody was Miami Maxey. Everybody was interviewing, and he said he talked about last year when he had a good game. He said he was playing. He had a pretty decent game, and then he ain't played for 2 weeks. And this would have sounded like from me, from Maxey's story. He said after the 2 weeks, Doc came to him and said, "Do you know why you're not playing?" And he said, then he told him, you ain't some X, Y, and Z. I forget what it was. But I'm like, hold on. You let this young boy sit here for 2 weeks and not play before you told him what he needed to do? Like that disturbed me a little bit about your coaching style and how you connecting with young players or not connecting with young players. And we see it because he don't play the young players. So could it be something similar with Paul Reed where he got in his mind what kind of player he is, and you got in your mind what kind of player is, but you're not really fully communicating what you want to see from him or Bassey. You know what I'm saying? So that was a little bit disturbing to me that when Maxey told me that story. I ain't gonna hold you.
Let me tell you something.
Styles Washington made another good. Good point. He said, Doc, and after that windmill dunk, I don't know if we seen Paul Reed for a little while if he missed that dunk. He said, Doc said after he missed that windmill dunk, he thinks he's a scorer and it's not the G League.
You know why that's not a good point to me though?
That's it.
Because I don't want to hear that. Because you ran Korkmaz out here for like 20 straight games when he was shooting tricks.
No, but he's just saying that is a good point.
He's just saying this is showing Doc's mentality.
Yeah, but I agree. And I think it's flawed. And I think Doc's mentality.
If I'm being totally honest, I think James Harden is a great player, but with him, they're trying to make him do something different. They said that Doc Rivers said that James Harden is getting used to catch and shooting opportunities. So that's something he never really had in his career. So
I said that already.
So they're making him do something that he's never done before. So was that a smart thing to even get him if that's your offense?
My bad, Styles. You're right. I misread you.
Listen, I said that before, and I said I think that will be a problem with this team, which you don't do. I think that you think somebody like Doc would really understand it. First of all, when you trade for a player,
Maury and
Doc. Hold on. When you trade for a player, right, an older player that been playing this way for a decade, you understand what you're getting, and you need to understand how to make it work with your team. If you don't think this will work with your team, or if you think you got to change this man's game for it to work, don't trade for him because it's going to be a bad fit and it's not going to work.
No,
you have to play. You have to play to his strengths. You're not going to teach this 33-year-old man to be a catch and shooter now. Like, come on, man. Come on, that don't make sense.
His strengths is the same thing as Joel's strengths. Neither one of them are catch and shoot. If you see, like Embiid, they actually had some cook. James and Embiid was actually cooking a little bit because Embiid was making quick decisions off the pick and roll. Embiid was laying the ball up, getting easy layups. That's how he actually scored 7 straight baskets without missing. But that's not neither one of their games. They got to adjust.
Yeah, I do think I agree with it. I mean, I agree with that a little bit, Tim. Master the Craft, I do think they're trying to get an MVP to Jokic. I think they try.
Oh yeah, they absolutely.
They're trying to
I
fade.
don't like that.
You know, the same way they gave y'all boy Nash back-to-back MVPs. You know how they do.
Yeah. I'm not arguing. I mean,
once they get one, once they get one, we gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, I mean, even though don't get me wrong, he's having a good season, Joker. He's having a good season, but ain't nowhere in the world he should win back-to-back MVPs with the way Joel been playing, especially being the second lead in scoring the game and your team fluctuating from first to second and all that kind of stuff like that. And depends, I don't know where we're gonna end up, but yeah, I mean, I'm not. I get.
Wait, yo. Stylus Washington, thanks for the super chat. He gave us $4.99.
Where would you at 5 minutes ago?
I didn't see it.
Y'all see how Tim think? Y'all see Tim's thinking? This is why.
I didn't see it. My fault.
Ethan said that like, okay, all right. But yeah, shout out. That was big time, man. Thank you for the love and the support.
You're officially our first super chat.
Yeah, you are. You made history.
I know. History. All records are broken.
But I mean, it was a number of crucial. And the basketball game is always a play here, a play there, a decision here, a decision there. That's why I mean I look to more of the players for the most part. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can be very critical of coaching. Y'all know I talk about Kerr a lot of times. He irritates me how he moves. But Maxey, and I guess the reason why I'm blaming Maxey because maybe I hyped him up to be the second or third best player in the team.
You wasn't the only one. You wasn't the only one.
So now I'm looking for second or third best activity. That's what I'm looking for. So I can't. Once I anoint you, I'll put the anointing oil on his head. I'll rub him. I grease his scalp. I can't undo that now. Your head is oil. Now you need to play like your head is oil. That's all I'm saying.
Dominic said he might do a super chat so he can finally get a wrench.
Yo, they said Doc Rivers said he almost went with Paul Reed tonight. That was a mistake.
Yo, that's disrespectful.
That's
disrespectful. Don't even mention me like.
The fact that he said almost is he realized how horrible his decision was made.
But
because
listen,
he got asked about it and he realized how bad it was.
But that's a good
No, it ain't because he ain't going to change in the playoffs.
He will because he's not going. There's no way where he can go back to Millsap. You can't do it.
So you think he's going to throw Paul Reed in there? He ain't been playing. Look how long it took him to put Maxey in the playoffs last year. So you think he's going to put Paul Reed in there instead of Millsap?
Millsap had 0 rebounds. I don't even care about the boys. He had no 0. He gave us nothing. He was just a body out there. So he just burned himself. He burned himself. He can't do it.
Miz. Y'all making history. Miz, second, number 2. That's what's up. Shout out to you. He said, "Can't." Are you right?
I mean, I don't. Round 1 to me, if they lose in round 1, it would have to be a matter of the match. If they get matched up against the Nets, I don't think they'll get outcoached against the Nets. They won't get outcoached against the Nets, in my opinion, because I think Steve Nash is trash as a coach.
I think the only team they will. Only team they definitely beat is Atlanta.
Crab, my bad. I take that back. Pause. I ain't say pause on that. But what you say, Ethan?
The only team I'm talking about, Miz comment. The only team I think they'll definitely win is Atlanta. Toronto's defense gives us problems. The Nets
beat Toronto in a 7-game series. Toronto can't keep that up against them.
Who think we're going to lose to Toronto in a 7-game series?
Certain teams. And wait a minute. And Washington lost Williams. And Boston lost Williams. Robert Williams
lost to them too.
This is what you got to remember. If we're playing in the playoffs, it's a 7-game series. That means a team has to play against Joel Embiid for 7 games, potentially 7 games. You can play up there and try to rough Embiid up and everything else, but Embiid is in shape this year, and he's going to wear you down too.
Yeah, so as long as we can get past this turnover at the end of the game, we'd be good.
If we lose to Toronto in a 7-game series, I will donate a week's check to everybody out here on the on podcast land. I make $300.
Don't do that. You can say that. Take that back. I'll take a vacation that week.
I make $300 a week. I make $325 a week. But my point is,
that's an hourly rate.
My point is, we not losing. We not losing to Toronto. That's not no 7 games. That's not happening.
We're not losing to Toronto. We're not losing to the Cavs. We're not losing to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Those are teams that I have absolutely no fear of.
And
the other guys, I'm not even a afraid of Bucks. Like I get it. Listen, that when we get past everything, we lost this game. This was a
timing out the ball.
This was a tight game. Let's not keep it. Let's keep it a beat. It was a tight game, and Maxey didn't even play well today, and he's considered to be our third best player by a lot of people. So that being said,
hold on. So you saying by that statement, you saying he's not our third best player? Who do you think our third best player is?
The last couple of games, it was Toby.
I didn't ask you that.
I think they go. I think they go back and forth.
Okay, I can respect that.
I mean, I honestly, I think if you show me Maxey, I think Maxey has that potential. Remember, I agreed when y'all were saying because Toby wasn't playing, but I've seen as the time is going on. To me, Toby has shown a propensity to play better defense and actually like show some aggression and some energy during the games. Maxey, to me, at certain times still looks like a young guy. I think Maxey
at times I can at times.
Yeah, he is, but I need to see him. If we want, y'all talked about him being the closer. I want that closer mentality.
That's true, P.S. Jackson. We wasn't supposed to lose to Atlanta this year, but we don't have the one player, or last year, but we don't have that one player who melted down. I don't see no player catastrophically melting down like we saw last year. That's not going to happen again. But I have to give a shout out to Giannis, man. I'm sorry, Giannis. He played incredible. This dude is an outright machine.
Is he better than B?
The impressive. I'm not going to go on record to say that. I did go on record to say that before. This year, I'll still give the MVP to B. If I had Giannis in one hand and B in the other to select for my team, I'm torn. Let me just talk about Giannis.
Yeah, what?
There we go. See, somebody edit. Can we edit this part, or is it too late?
You
All right. Okay. All right. Let me finish what I'm saying.
On this show.
Let me finish what I'm saying. The bull is a outright machine who worked on his game to a level that we rarely saw a player who was only an inside presence now become an all-around, well-rounded basketball MVP. This dude he's something special when it comes to balling, man. I'm very, very impressed with his game, man.
What I like about Giannis, or what I appreciate about Giannis, is he's not trying to imitate nobody. He's not trying to be anybody but Giannis.
He is master of the craft. He's trying to pressure me. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? That was impressive. Like, even with B was like, I watch all these tapes of Kevin Durant because I want to be like KD. Everybody say I want to be like Jordan or Kobe. Giannis is like, I am who I am. I gotta give him I gotta respect him for that.
Yeah.
Hey, Starscream, listen, I'm still not scared of the Nets. Honestly, I'm not. I just think that KD he gives us a matchup problem. And I know that Doc is not going to try to play any younger person to get in. Like my whole thing with Paul Reed is at least he'll play aggressive. Let him get fouls. Let him rough the dude up. Let him wear him out. People do that against Bede all the time. Let him do that against Giannis tonight. Let Paul Reed come in here and just be a pest and be up under him and make him uncomfortable. Do stuff like that. And I worry about Doc not doing things like that when it comes down to it. But I told y'all too, Kyrie Irving everybody was hyped about when Kyrie come back. Kyrie averaging 40 points a game. Oh, the Nets is going to be unstoppable. He's playing every night now.
Tim and Ethan. That was Tim and Ethan.
Dropping.
Now let me answer this. I do think CP3 is a better point guard than Harden. I would personally take CP3 over Harden. My only problem what Harden is, what irritates my core, my inner core, is when he looks for the foul instead of scoring the basketball. You know what I mean? Let the basketball go in, then look for the foul. You know, that just irks me.
I think he was doing that earlier too. The point that you're making, I think earlier in the game, it looked like Harden was just trying to go. Like I didn't see him arguing for no calls and nothing early in the game.
But late in the game, like and this is my thing about that. Late in the game, they're not going to give you those calls, and it happened tonight. It happened tonight. You're not going to get those calls. Don't look to make the basket. Look to score when you go into the lane. Don't look to get bailed out. That's what bothers me. But will he ever change? Will that change? No. That's his game. This is what you have. So we gotta figure out a way to make this work, get him in rhythm. I mean, he played well, all up until he just missed a shot in the fourth quarter. I mean, you miss shots. Could be had to dunk the ball, probably not.
I'm not going to come at Harden today. This was his best game yet, and it was against a top tier team. Really, we lost this game in the start of fourth quarter. That's what it lost. We lost. We was cruising. We had a 10-point lead. We had confidence. I thought we was playing extremely well, especially coming off that loss against the Phoenix on Sunday night. And it was just a matter of that lineup that we threw out there. You cannot play Embiid and Harden on the bench, and not against that team. Maybe against.
But no, don't tell me that, because if you're telling me Maxey's supposed to be what Maxey's supposed to be, Maxey's supposed to hold it down while they're out.
Okay.
Maxey,
listen,
hold on one second.
the gender driven, so I get it.
I see a lot of comments getting people getting timed on their comments. Yo, let them speak. If they other fans, I think they a couple people kind of timing out some other fans.
Yeah, we don't care if other people fans come in.
The people you gave wrenches to, you got to trust them.
Maybe I don't. I don't know. Maybe I don't.
They see some out of pocket. I agree, but listen, we had some guys in that Atlanta series. We had guys coming here that was Atlanta fans, and we went back and forth, and it made for good stuff. So we don't have no problem with people trying to come in and troll. Listen, we all in here, we can troll like the best of them. So we don't care. Somebody can come in and troll as long as it's nothing out of pocket or disrespectful. Y'all can let them talk with it.
Yeah, let them talk. Yeah, let them talk. I mean, I don't mind. It kind of broadens my knowledge of how people feel about other players. Because, I agree with Wayne. Wayne used to always say how we critical of players because we know them, but we see players from other teams, and sometimes we give them a little.
Outside of
Can I finish my comment? Good Lord, I'm in the middle of talking.
You have plenty of time to talk. But
who got
outside of Wayne, we ain't.
Tim, give me a wrench so I can time you out.
Please.
All right, go ahead.
I was just saying that. I forgot my thought. Go ahead.
Good.
You were talking about another player. You was talking about never mind.
Yeah, you know what? But Phil W. He said, "Why wasn't Maxey attacking Middleton?" This is what I keep saying this about Maxey sometimes. I think. And maybe because he's seen Harden was in a groove a little bit, he kept deferring a little bit. But just they got to be able to find that balance with him to also keep him engaged in the game because they're going to need him. I still think at his peak, he's better than Tobias. If they both played their peak game, his game will be better than Toby's game. That's why I still say, in my mind, he's the third best player on the team. So you still have to keep him engaged throughout the game and let him know, yo, take the shot. A couple possessions is yours. If you feel you got a mismatch, you faster Middleton. Middleton's a savvy player, but he ain't fast as Maxey. So if you got him, take him. Like you still got to continue to coach him up. And I think Harden used to do that a little bit more. But I think Harden's like, listen, I gotta find my game. My game been off for the last 10 games. Yeah, I gotta get my baskets falling. So, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do. But Maxey, they still gotta make sure they coaching him up, man. We're gonna need him in the playoffs.
I agree with that. But
they was feeding Maxey last game, trying to let him shine, and he ain't do.
Another thing that's an issue with him is we play a lot of individual one-on-one. And they have Chris Passon. They play full team basketball.
They do.
That's impressive. Funny thing, Embiid, he just said in the presser, he said he points out that the game got away when they took him out late in the third quarter. So it's basically what we were saying. That's when everything went downhill. They took him out and they took Harden out at the same time.
Yeah, because they took him out and put Millsap in. They took him out and put Millsap in.
I'm gonna tell y'all why Bede ain't guarding Giannis. Because Giannis would take Bede at the top of the key and get him in foul trouble. That's not what you want to see.
Probably so.
Bede is a good defender, but him trying to guard Giannis at the top of the key wouldn't be good. You don't want to get your big man in foul trouble like that. The only time he could guard Giannis if Giannis try to get on a post or something like that. But when Giannis run up the floor and dribbling the ball, Bede don't have that lateral movement. And one more thing about that dunk, Bede don't have that quick twitch like that. He's not going to get up and dunk that ball fast like that. First of all, he wasn't even set right. He was a little off balance. I'm talking about that last shot.
Yeah.
I can tell you what the problem. You know what the problem was on that last shot? The problem was nobody boxed Giannis out. If somebody puts a body on Giannis and don't just let him come running in free like that, he's not going to get the block on the beat.
No, I think the problem was that B thought it was less time on the clock. He was rushed. He didn't know how much time because you knew when Harden shot it, there was only like 4 to 5 seconds left, maybe less. So at that
But he
point,
put the shot up with 1 point something seconds left. So I'm not mad at that. I don't think
but he didn't know. I mean, like you kind of grabbing it because it fumbled, it came down and got tipped. He grabbed it. So at that point, you trying to just put up as fast as you can. I think if let's say if it was in the third quarter, I think he dunks that basketball on Giannis.
But even if I don't know, because Giannis came flying in because nobody put a body on him. Giannis just came in free. I ain't mad at the shot B put up. He put it up a quick shot to try to put it off the backboard. It was a great play by Giannis.
We didn't box out at all.
Nobody boxed Giannis out.
That's kind of remember if the game also because we didn't box out. And
if B guard Giannis, who gonna guard what's the other boy? Who gonna guard Lopez?
Lopez out there shooting threes, so you put Toby on him.
Lopez could go down there. He's 7-something.
Yeah, I know. He probably would back Toby down. He would. I mean, hey, listen, I mean, at a certain point, that's my whole issue where, like I said about the whole Paul Reed thing. I think Doc might have been trying to fill for stuff because he didn't put DeAndre Jordan in. But the fact that Doc is answering questions about why he didn't use Paul Reed, people asking him why he didn't use Paul Reed because they saw when Paul Reed played against him in one of those games when Doc actually gave him time to play against him. Paul Reed played decent against him, played decent defense, played active, got on the rebounds. He caused something to happen.
He was disruptive.
Hey, Herb, with that wrench comes great responsibility, but stop going back and forth like that in the chat with the bull, man. Let that go. Back to the crap. Y'all chill out. We talked about that already. Yeah, I mean, but this game irks me. Like I said, this game it irks me major because we was at home. Like these the games at home that you want to capitalize. You want to win. We just came off a road trip.
Somebody delete Herb's address, please.
Herb,
stop. Herb, delete your address. You got to bring Herb. Delete your address. Mark, delete his address.
Herb's address, please.
Mark.
Please, can y'all remove Herb's address over there?
Yeah, Mark, get on that. You got where Mark at? You got rent Bass or Mark? Y'all was
Bass. Delete that for us, Bass. Come on, bro. hey, Herb.
Yo, who willing to do the Will Smith slap?
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say. Come on, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
Who's going to do the Will Smith slap tonight?
Yeah, Giannis a beast, man. I mean, it's the reason why he won back-to-back MVPs, and I think one of them years didn't he win defensive and MVP. I mean, it was a great play. It was a great play. I honestly think if there was more time left on the clock, the beat knew was more time, he'd have dunked it. I think he didn't know how much time was left, so he was trying to rush it up and shoot it real fast. I think Ethan said that before. But great play, bad loss. I'm irked by it. So,
y'all got any final thoughts before we roll out this piece?
Yeah, I do. Listen, it was a tough loss, but this was a tough. We know what it is. The Bucks is a tough team. This was a tough game. This game could have went either way. So before y'all start jumping, and I know how we do sometimes. You get excited. I'm done. They can't be. It's frustrating games. We lost to the Bucks and Phoenix back to back. Those are two of the best teams in the league, and it was tight games. So I hear what y'all saying, but let's not lose it just yet. I'm saying we still got 8 games to go. Hopefully they tighten some stuff up. Hopefully we see other guys show up to do the things that we expect them to do, like Maxey and Niang in games like this. I'm gonna actually encourage that Toby has been playing better as of late. Now I just need Maxey to come back and be who he was.
Great. That's what I want to say.
It don't look too good for me. Anybody else want to say anything?
Nah. Who we play next?
I think it's like Detroit. We got a bunch of cupcake teams.
Yeah, that's what I think, right? There's 5 more games left before the playoffs or something?
It's like 7. I think it's 7. We got a bunch of cupcake teams. That's why I really wanted to split between Phoenix and the Bucks. I would feel a lot better had we split between the two.
Well, we couldn't split with the Bucks. Wasn't it a 3-game series?
I'm talking about splitting, meaning these 2 games either win against Phoenix or win against the Bucks, and we lost both of them. Both close games. Maybe we gel a little bit more. Maybe the 7-game series. Who knows? But anyway, tonight was a tough loss. I'm gonna put it on. I gotta put it on Doc. A little bit on Maxey.
Yeah, I agree, Bass. He said I can't take no more of these L's. I agree. That's it's losses like this that that kind of irked me. Like I said, I thought both games was for the taking, the Suns and the Milwaukee game, and I would just like to come out with victories on them joints.
The way we can't stop they runs sometime. We got to find out a way. You thought bringing Harden in here be a run stopper. You think Harden and Embiid is your run stoppers. Like Wayne like to say, you need a guy to stop the run. So we got to figure out some way to make sure they get their ball in their hands and stop the run. Call a timeout, Doc. Call a timeout and get somebody here to stop them runs.
Yep. These teams got to show me they can stop Embiid 7 games.
All right.
I agree with that too, Wayne.
Don't forget, Wayne and Ephraim, they read all the comments. So
you got to do it 4 games, Wayne. You ain't got to have 4 games.
We ain't getting swept. I'd say that. Oh, my mama, we not getting swept by nobody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is you don't got to stop more. You got to stop 4 games.
There goes your mama.
P.A. Sassy said keep your expectations low. P.A. Sassy said keep your expectations low so you don't get disappointed.
That sounds like that's Ethan's game plan. That's Ethan's whole approach.
It is.
Yeah. All right. We out.
Listen, one more thing. My comment tonight is everybody deserves to get slapped. You just don't do it.
And get them likes up.
Yeah, say this. Let me say my final comment then.
Real quick. Somebody asked me a question about Dwayne Rock Johnson and Will Smith. Listen, just because they saying what Will Smith had done at The Rock, just because somebody lift weights and big don't mean they can handle hands, bro. Like, stop thinking just because people big. And let's not act like Will Smith small. He's 6'2", and he trained for Ali movie.
Who case in point? Wayne is too. Wayne case in point. I say this. I heard somebody say
I don't take nobody for granted. As big as I am, I'm still looking at anybody could knock me out, and I'm gonna approach it accordingly.
I say this. I heard a quote, and I agree. They said, "Never pick a fight that you don't think you could win, but also never pick a fight that only you can win, because that's when you consider bullying somebody." But I'm not saying you go up there and you don't go up against somebody you honestly don't think you could beat. But at the same time, I don't think you should take advantage of somebody that you know without certain that you could beat. I don't think that's a fair thing.
Well, you want to say Proverbs? Never write a check with your mouth that you can't cash.
It's comedy.
So everybody want to get a little,
and it was funny.
I will say one thing about the video.
That's hate.
Will overreacted, but
he did. He got cup.
I let y'all both speak. Shut up.
I'm sorry. I was agreeing with you.
I just said he did. That's all.
All right. I just say, just don't disrespect nobody's wife. No matter if you think they're a star, if they still in the movies, that's still somebody's wife. So respect the wife, and then just if you do that, everybody feeling will get hurt.
I agree with that.
Ethan, you got a point?
No, I think I said mine about yeah, you just don't slap. I agree with that though.
He's asking you tripping.
I think this. If he would have said something about Will and not his wife, would he have got slapped?
No, I don't think so.
Would he have made if that was Denzel's wife, Paulette? Would he made that same joke?
If that was Mike Tyson's wife, would he have said that?
No, I think.
But sometimes you joke with your friends who you know and you think you can. If he's actually cool with him, he did 2 movies with Jay. He might think they cool enough.
He know his wife don't want to hear.
I wasn't done. He thought he might have been cool enough to make that joke because he didn't know, according to him, about the actual medical condition that I still think is a little bit of cat. But that's me. That's me. But if he didn't know about it, and then you make a joke about it because sometimes you think y'all cool enough to do it, then that's how that happens sometimes. But I mean, I honestly think like I said, I think that most of it was based on Will Smith, all the stuff he's been through in the past. I don't think it was just that one joke that set him off like some people do. I think it was more of a buildup of everything he's been through that was primarily caused by her. So, but you decide to stay with it, so you eat some of that, and then I'm not finished. So then when it comes to a boiling point, I think he was looking to lash out at somebody, and Chris Rock happened to be at that point the whipping boy.
But I hear people saying I don't care if that man's wife was for the streets. If him and his wife working it out, that's his wife. I don't care what somebody passes. That's his wife.
I agree.
You You go out. No, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about like some of the comments. You disrespect a man's wife while he's sitting there. You liable to catch whatever you gonna catch. You disrespect his mama, his daughter, or his wife while he right there in the tents. There's no telling what you gonna catch. Do that to me and see.
Or if you bottom line is this could be just one big cap of Hollywood just trying to get people to watch the Oscars next year, or the government trying to distract the people. But I'm a conspiracy theorist, so what I know. Anyway, thanks for liking the video, subscribing. We're gonna catch y'all on Thursday after the game. We out.
Jesus.